Since of the Past, Chapter 34, Related Warriors, Roulette Surprise Visit. Being teleported to Roulette's secret headquarters in Grozny, Uzbekistan, Russia, the idea of not being to a familiar place alone, getting over the thoughts of loss in general, Red Shadow hears a conversation who's inside underneath their feet. Keep in mind, once his battle-suited armor has been upgraded and still expecting, in their native Syrian language, the mask can also translate any foreign language to understand the situation. Before he decides the plan of action, his mask has the ability of many features by using his eyes to choose all the correct options available. He uses temperature reading that can see through walls and sees 6 on top so far, also being able to see underneath as well to map out the entrance and exit. He quickly devises executed strategy as he configures the armor through his mask and protects it very transparently enough to see his way, and his target is able to see right through as well. Considering leaving behind a shadow that disappears after 2 seconds, the armor turns a very medium dark red transparent stealth, but to the point of blending in. It shines the red hues when light is directed a certain way. Arab Terrorist 1 says, "He's here. He's about to meet the boss." Arab Terrorist 2 says, "About time. Takes forever to come." Arab Terrorist 1 says, "Do you think that worthless soldier, whatever his name is, will join our cause?" Arab Terrorist 2 says, "You know the boss has his persuasive techniques." Arab Terrorist 3 says, "Either way, he has no choice or he dies." All three laugh for about 2 seconds. They laugh until Red Shadow leaps upward, brings out his liquid metal sword from his gauntlet as it liquefies and molds into a shape within a split second. Sprints 2 strides, turns about halfway towards his right side, jumps down. He presses the handle in pressure-activated system that certain parts of the handle has different weapon-listed program. The blade turns into the sickle from earlier, eliminates 2 at once, removing their heads. First 2 wiped out. He flips sideways but upwards. His left leg surrounds the other 2 wiped out. Hold on, this. The blade turns 2 here, eliminates 2 at once. Okay, eliminates 2 at once, but removing their heads. First 2 wiped out. He flips sideways but upwards. His left leg surrounds the other terrorist's neck, brings his weight forward, and twists himself around. Then a few cracked bones were felt. The terrorist's head is backwards as he falls to the ground, then lands on the ground, chops through another terrorist's head and part of his weapon, runs forward, grabs the 5th terrorist from behind with his left hand. He pulled back his head, sliced throat after another second passes, blurs his way to the last terrorist, chops off his head, throws the severed body to the ground, forcing the blood to flow out even more, keeping the head in his left hand for about 2 seconds. Blood drips its way downward, the head drops, and next a small wave is about to be rectified. He uses his claws for climbing on the ceiling from his gauntlets that have its surprises. Continuing, then he drops, lands, and another head rolls off. He runs, uses the sickle version of his weapon. The 8th severed head rolls to the ground. He gains momentum by stopping for a split second. The weapon retracts back to normal sword, rushes in for the last head to drop. Finally, he jumps onto the wall and uses the claws to climb upward on the ceiling again and through an opening doorway to inside what looks like a secret underground mansion palace likeness. He's about to hear Roulette's decision from the terrorist leader. Chapter 35, Related Warriors, Acquisition Connections. Using trained mix ninjutsu styles, he sees Roulette from on top of the ceiling. Roulette grabs his father's collection cases inside one of the rooms that connect to the main hallway. He opens one of them, pulls out the aces and dices. His father was a no-mobster gambler. Afterwards, he makes his way to his relaxing part of the building. Red Shadow follows without making a noise. Roulette stops and directs his father's weapon from his right hand straight in the air. A voice pops out from the silence when his eyes adjust to the surrounding dim light from the background. Over by, over by where Roulette makes a stand, not far from him is a walled aquarium with 5-foot squid. A school of fish passes by the squid. Red Shadow notices the creatures have different details. Over on Red Shadow's right side perspective, he sees his father's statue water fountain with different detailed guns. Underneath, a stack of aces in shapes of longer and wider cards, lighted with blended dark colors. Behind the statued water fountain is a stairway that leads upward wise to another conference room. On the bottom side of the stairs that connects leads to an exit. A conversation begins. Arab terrorist leader says, "What took you so long?" Roulette soldier says, "What do you think who you are coming inside here?" Arab terrorist leader says, "I have a proposition for you both, for the both of us." Roulette soldier says, "I really don't care what you say. Leave." Arab terrorist leader says, "Not until we make a deal. I heard you know Deadly Cedar." Roulette soldier says, "I don't know who you are talking about." Arab terrorist leader says, "That and the supposed related warrior fucks that have been eliminated most of us in the past." Roulette soldier says, "You come in here with problems that are not even mine." He cocks his father's gun at the same time. He presses a button inside his left pocket, and his armor gives him his gun, molds into his left hand in 1 second. Red Shadow didn't see that part of his similar armor type configured system. Arab terrorist leader says, "I also came to tell you, you almost had them in your grasp." Roulette soldier says, "Explain quickly." Arab terrorist leader says, "Yes, they attended your announcement and they have the medal from your associate." Roulette soldier says, "Lies." Arab terrorist leader says, "I have many sources. I ask you to help me rid of the most wanted of 16 years of not being captured." Roulette soldier says, "I'm not going to ask you nicely again to leave." Roulette didn't want to shoot inside of his dead father's underground palace. The Arab terrorist leader says, "I will not be limited by 2 women who need men in their lives to shape and discipline them." Roulette just walks out of the room in hopes they would follow into a room what he uses for target practice. The Arab terrorist leader signals the attention of the last 2 henchmen he had left. He didn't want to make a big mess, so he brought about 11 of his best. Arab terrorist leader says, "Go get the others and kill them." While one of the henchmen tries to contact the others, no answer. Tries again, no response. Arab terrorist guard says, "We'll be back. They're not answering. We'll go check." Arab terrorist leader signals the okay to go check and on the non-responsive regime. Red Shadow sees them going the way he came. The situation is now clear. Get the leader terrorist. The situation is now clear to get rid of the leader terrorist. Yeah. Arab leader decides to contact his men. Red Shadow jammed his frequency by cutting the signal from his mask temporarily. The Arab leader gets frustrated and throws the communication device on the ground and breaks it into 4 to 5 different pieces. Red Shadow makes his way towards the leader and lands on the ground. The Arab leader turns around and notices a dark red transparent figure standing from his landing. Arab terrorist leader says, "Who are you?" Directing the machine gun at him and cocks it for automatic reload. Red Shadow continues to study his enemy by scanning him inside his mask at the same time. Completed scan tells Red Shadow his weaknesses and the other information. He is also wanted for jihad and Al-Qaeda type connections. Red Shadow blurs out of his direction. Diagonally towards the right side, the Arab terrorist leader shoots and misses. Red Shadow is dodging the incoming bullets by running alongside the walls. The protective shoes he has to adjust to the texture of the ground and keeps him moving without falling, no matter the gravity. Roulette hears what is going on and proceeds to the source. Red Shadow decides to end this. He cuts his momentum. The gauntlet brings out his handle, then the sword turns into a sickle-like weapon and spins it around him, bouncing the bullets towards the source. Then disappears. The terrorist leader looks around and doesn't find anything. Roulette comes out from a corner, slowly so he doesn't let the terrorist know of his presence. Directs his gun in his direction, shoots him to the ground behind the skull. Walks up to the twitching body and shoots him more until he stops after 10 bullets go through. After he takes the body and shoots him more until he stops after the 10 bullets go through. After he takes the chair that wasn't what that wasn't damaged amazingly. From where the terrorist leader thought he was high and mighty was no more. He sits down, contacts Nightmare and Cedar, while it takes a few moments to connect. And Eternal Nightmare says, well, well, look who decides to call. Roulette Soldier says, never mind that. I need you to bring the other associates. Eternal Nightmare says, which ones? Cedar, yourself, American, and the Vietnamese ones for now. Eternal Nightmare says, I see. Are you sure that's all the countries you want to invite? Roulette Soldier says, why? Eternal Nightmare says, just wondering is all. Roulette Soldier says, I think it's about time we rid of the most wanted warriors. Eternal Nightmare says, I'll be there as soon as I gather everyone. Oh, and one more question. Where will we be having this meeting at? Roulette Soldier says, I'll give you the location later, after I clean up a mess. They both disconnect. He contacts his butlers and tells them to clean another mess and to bring help. Red Shadow stays out of sight and continues to follow Roulette wherever he goes and does.